And we are back, folks, for another edition of the Michigan Football Breakdown, focused on the defense with that man they call Vance Bedford. Vance Bedford got a chance to see a game. Now, I don't know if you've seen a lot of football, Vance. I don't know if you ever saw a team turn the football over or lose a turnover battle 5 times and win the game. But that's what the Michigan football team did last week. And even though there were some moments defensively where they gave up some plays, they need to stand up strong at the end of that game to give their offense a shot to and special teams a shot to come back and win it. And they were able to do it on the road and gave their team a chance to do just that. And they won it 24-22. Vance, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Glad to be here and glad to be talking about a win after 5 turnovers. Man, oh my goodness. But what did I say? I said that this team, Northwestern, would not beat itself. You're going to have to beat them, and we try to give it to them every which way but possible. Think about it. 5 turnovers, Sam, you're not supposed to win. If I was betting in Vegas right now and you told me Michigan was going to turn the ball over 5 times, Sam, I'm betting my Social Security check. I'm good as gold. I know I'm going to win that game.
Well, so I should have wore this shirt in the last for the last episode for the offensive breakdown. But a man from Katy, Texas, committed to Michigan last year, Andrew Marsh. And when he committed, he gave me this shirt. And the shirt said, he said, Sam, everything gonna be okay. Cause I'm coming. Everything gonna be. I was some about y'all from Texas, Vance. He said, Andrew, what is it? Was his initials ATM? He said, take it to the bank, baby. Andrew, see my ATM, take it to the bank. I'm coming. I'm coming.
And Sam, I'm headed to Katy, Texas in January. You know, I spent about 4 months down there. My family's in that area.
Yeah, man. So, hey, he showed up on offense with a big catch, 12 catches for 189 yards, a big catch toward the end of that game to help pull it out. And then, of course, the defense, which we're here to talk about, Vance. They needed to make some big plays late. Early on, they were doing a good job of bend but don't break. They were keeping them out of the end zone. But then, Vance, we start to see some 50-50 balls go towards North. A lot of 50-50 balls seem like they're going Northwestern's way.
Sam, I got to be honest, in the first couple of drives, I would imagine he pressured 60% of the time. He was bringing every which way but loose, Sam. And he zero pressured, I would say, somewhere between 6 to 10 times in open field. He did everything he could to stop the run, which at times means that the corners were going to be in man-to-man coverage. And I can understand now why we play a lot of zone, because that's not what we're good at, Sam. We're not. We gave us some plays in the pass game. The corners did. A couple of times we were in zone and it was a 50-50 ball. We missed time in our jump and got our jump. Now, the receiver was 6'4". I mean, so when you're playing against a basketball player, you don't jump for the ball, Sam. You jump into him going for the ball to knock him off. It's just a technique that you work on to give young guys a chance to make a play. When you think you're just going to go up and get the football, a 6'4" guy going to out-jump a 6'1" guy every day of the week. So 50-50 balls, I got a little bit nervous, Sam. The passing game made me nervous. But my man Wink, I tell you what, Sam, I gave him a B+ for calling this game because he pressured not a little, he pressured a lot. And at times, we had guys that's not executing. And the zero pressure I saw him do in the open field, they disguised it well. We talked about disguise last week, Sam. I said, yeah, disguised it very well, Sam. They disguised some things pretty good in this ball game. So my hat's off to the coaching staff for the things they did. But again, going down the line, 50-50 balls could give us trouble. RPOs and cover 6 to the half field side, we got to get that cleaned up, Sam. The one touchdown, I think, in the fourth quarter, it was an RPO. Number 18 was in the game again. And that guy went right down the field for a touchdown. I mean, we got to play better and smarter to eliminate those kind of plays.
So better job disguising it, and so the amount of pressure that they played, you thought it was a perfect prescription.
It is more than I would have done myself. I mean, Sam. I mean, he wasn't playing. When we talked about how physical that Northwestern offensive line was, he was not going to give those guys a chance to be physical on our D line. He was bringing linebackers, he was bringing nickel backs, he bringing them all, Sam. He was running zero pressure in the open, not in the red zone. I'm talking about an open field. I'm like, oh my goodness, my man not playing around. And for the most part, it paid pretty good dividends. I still have to go back to this though, Sam. I am concerned moving forward about the D line. When we bring in stunts from the outside, whether it be the nickel or a backer, and those guys move into the proper gap. Once again, I saw some deficiencies for our defensive tackles. When they have to move to another gap, they're not getting home, Sam. It's just so happened we had enough pressure where guys are coming free, running around blocks and made plays where it didn't really hurt us that much. But we got to get those things cleaned up. And very fortunate, we have a couple of key penalties that benefited us.
So Vance, so for all the pressure that you say they said, I can't remember what amount of what the percentage was, what you said, but why didn't they get home more? I mean, the guys just,
They were max, Sam. They had max protect. The ball's coming out quick. They're trying to throw the ball to the back. So a lot of times it's not necessarily getting home. The quarterback is making the ball come out faster. But they went max protect. Now, going to that ball game prior to our game, Sam, they would go max protect when they want to throw it deep. They were going to give their quarterback an opportunity to get the ball down deep, and they did. Or he took the fifth step, Sam, ball was out right now. You are not going to get home. You're not going to get home, but the ball's coming out off a rhythm for the quarterback. That means we need to make plays ourselves. They are max, like I say, they are max protect a lot. But they always have done that, Sam. They're going to protect the quarterback to throw the ball down the football field.
And so how would you, in those situations where it seemed like guys were in position to make plays on the back end, I mean, you can't do no more than have your guy be in the spot to be able to make a play, Vance. I mean, how are you coaching your guys in those scenarios?
Again, it's you're playing basketball. And if I'm a 6'1", 6'2" guy going against a 6'4" guy, you have to do what? Box him out. Well, in football, it's no different. I have to box this guy out. So when I jump for the ball, I'm going to jump into him to knock him back. If you jump straight up, he's just going to go over and take the ball from you. So I'm going to jump into him to get that ball. So you do those things in the off season. And if you're working on fade drills, you do that thing in the red zone to help your guys out to understand who you're going against. But they felt going to this game that the receivers could not run by them. They played more cover one than what they played in any game they did this year. They played zero. They played cover one. They pressed more than what I've seen them press in the past. And at times, again, a jump ball was not a good friend of ours. And I think one play, they had to reverse the call, okay? I think it was Barry. They did the bell technique. He did a bell technique. Well, poor technique. The guy stepped on his feet real fast. In other words, he was in his blind spot. So he lost sight of the receiver. He had to turn and find the guy. It looked like it was a completion. They went to the cameras. They reversed the call. But again, bad technique. Because you want to keep a 2-yard cushion so I can see the guy's hip. Well, again, he came out too slow, and the guy stacked him real fast. So there's some things that we got to get cleaned up. And as we said before, our man Thrill Hill, he's been playing the best as a corner when he wants to play. Sometimes I don't think he's focused. I think sometimes he's looking in the stands and saying who got the popcorn and the peanuts over here, anybody got snow cones up there. He needs to be focused the entire time. And again, I go back to this. If you have 65 plays, my man Thrill Hill should be playing 55. Okay, you want to get tired? You be tired after the game. But if you my dog, let's go run for 55 out of 65 plays. Again, substituting and rotating guys out, especially in the secondary, you don't get a feel for it. And why they do that, I have no idea. You might know better than I do. It could be because of injuries. I have no idea. But again, in the secondary, don't play with those guys back there. Now you lose more games back there faster than any position on defense because you're the last line of defense. And if you make a mistake in the back end, they call it a touchdown.
No doubt. We saw a couple of young guys step up big time pass breakup by Jordan Young, number 14, late in the game. You saw a big stick, big tackle by a kid that we've talked about early in the season. Really good open field tackle, Jayden Sanders. Open field tackler, Jayden Sanders. We talked about him earlier this year. I think the USC game. He made a couple good open field tackles. You got a couple of young guys, one a nickel safety in Jordan Young, who made that PBU, and then Jayden Sanders, a young corner. Got a couple young players pressed into duty, Vance, who made a couple nice plays in this game.
They did, Sam, and I understand that. And I'm gonna go back to old time. Back in 1997, we had a good secondary, but we had three really good freshmen: William Peterson, James Whitley, and Dwayne Patton. And I played those guys. Okay, so if Woodson was at nickel, then Peterson played at corner. If Woodson was at corner, then Whitley played at nickel. It's based on who we were playing, where we wanted to put Woodson to take guys away. And when guys got tired in the back end with Ray and Hendricks, then Dwayne Patton went in there. But only just to give him a brief moment. But when in a dogfight, my dogs were out there. Mm-hmm. They put these guys out here in all kind of situations. And again, I'm an old coach, old school guy, and figure, hey, you go till you just drop. And I don't know anything about transfer portal and NIL. But I just know one thing. Who are your best players? And they should be playing 80% of the time. And it's great to see young guys play. That's great. But be careful, because when you get in a real tight fit, those young guys will get you beat. I want to talk about something right quick, Sam. This is a 2-minute drive, okay? It's a 3rd down and 7 in a 2-minute drive before the half. They in bear twist one. So they're man-to-man in the back end, okay? You got a young safety in the game, number 3. I don't know everybody's number 3. They run a nod, I call it a nod route. It's 4 vertical. In other words, he go 5 yards, lean outside, and go vertical. Sam, it went vertical all the way down to the 7-yard line. You got a young guy in a situation, his technique not very good. And they got pressure on him. So you're in a 2-minute drill. My veteran needs to be out there. And I'm a young guy.
So
that's just me talking.
Yeah.
I'm saying a young, inexperienced guy went for a route in a 2-minute drill after a turnover. After a turnover, guess what teams like to do, Sam? They like to do what? They going downtown. You got a young guy trying to jump a 5-yard route, just a head fake. They go vertical and man free. So my question is, as a old-time coach, why is 3 in the game, Sam?
So here's the thing, Vance.
Talk to me, brother.
He's actually not a young guy. He might be new to playing on this defense, but he transferred to Michigan last year and didn't play because he was hurt. But he was all Big Ten honorable mention at Michigan State. He's in his senior year.
Sam.
So
Sam, where has he been, Sam? See, right now you giving me a reason. That's an excuse, Sam. I have not seen him that much. So therefore, he is a young guy at Michigan in a crucial situation in the game, in a 2-minute drill. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. Okay, he's not a young guy. He hasn't been playing a lot as far as making plays. His true. Productivity, from what we've seen, is not very much. He's in a crucial situation. So you're trying to tell me that he was better than the guys who play most of the time? Maybe he is, Sam. I don't coach those guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's you need consistency, especially from your veteran guys, whether it's him or you were just talking about Suge. Your safeties that normally play are your big hitter.
Yeah.
You got
Hillman, yeah.
Yeah, and Brandon Hillman, Mason Curtis, 25. I don't know how you felt about how he played. Now he's a young guy,
But he's been playing, Sam. He's been playing. That's just my point. He's been playing. I'm in a 2-minute drill before the half. We just had a turnover. Who's been playing the most in that game? That's who needs to be in there in that situation. I'm not going to put a guy in there cold. I mean, he might be more talented, but for some reason, he's on the bench most of the time. So something is missing, is all I'm saying, Sam. It's the reason why he's not out there more. So you might know, you know more about that than me. If he's more talented, why is he not playing more? And now you're going to put him in a 2-minute drill, Sam?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw, it seemed like to me, all those safeties kind of had those moments. Maybe the quarterback just made a great play, the one that he threw over Mason's head. The pass.
We missed time to jump. That's all it was.
Yeah,
Man, we just missed time to jump. And sometimes in a deep ball like that, sometimes things just happen. I mean, you hope you don't get in that situation. The only thing I would say, he should have been a little bit deeper, playing more downhill. I think he misjudged the arm strength of the quarterback and the speed of what that receiver was, and missed time to jump. Big play. And that you know what? I've been in those situations. That happened to me numerous times. So I get that. But like I say, certain situations, I'm having my boys in the game. Like I say, you're going to be tired after the game. You're not tired during the game. I run you enough during the week. Such thing as I'm tired.
Yeah, and I guess to your point, I would question, with Rod Moore out, who are the best guys?
But think about it. Rod Moore done played in 2 games this year. He's been out the whole year, so that's not even count him in the mix. Okay, so we know Hillman been out there for the majority of the time. The 1 week he was injured. Okay, 25 been out there the most time. Who's the next guy we're gonna play, Sam? Give me another guy.
Number 3, Jayden Mangum.
Okay. Well, play him more. Give me a rotation going.
Yeah, Jayden Mangum is definitely a guy that they would play there at safety, and now he's going to play nickel and he's going to play safety. But you're going to play the kid who made the play. Was it 14?
14, young guy. But Sam, okay, now think about this. You just told me this guy's going to play nickel and safety. 2 totally different positions as far as learning curve.
So they playing him mostly in nickel, I think.
Okay, okay. Put him there, let him go to work. But see, Metcalf been playing the nickel. He's been doing a good job. So what happened to Metcalf? Is he hurt?
No, he wasn't in on that play.
So,
yeah.
But why, Sam?
Yeah.
See, you a reporter, ask those questions, Sam.
Well, I don't know, but I wouldn't have asked that question right there, because he made a great play.
Sam,
he made a great play.
Metcalf has done a solid job this year at nickelback. And again, you know how I feel about substituting guys. I'm just not a big proponent of that. The game has totally changed. And I understand. I'm an old dinosaur. I get that. But if I'm in a 2-minute drill, I'm not bringing a guy cold on the football field for me.
Yeah, I had to bring up an all-22 to find out, was he at nickel or say, but I think he was at nickel on that play, I think, where he made that great pass breakup.
It's just some things as we move forward. Who are your guys? And I'm going to say, I said Northwestern was a good football team. They're not going to beat themselves. They didn't. We almost lost that game because we tried to give it away. Let's just be honest. Maryland's not a good football team. The only thing is they got a head coach who could get fired. So get ready for onside kick, fake punts, reverse pass. Get ready for everything defensively, because if you're not, it could be a dogfight at the 4th quarter. Now, let's go to get ready for the last game of the year. Who are your dogs, Sam? That's all I'm saying. Don't tell me you're rotating guys in. Who are your dogs? They playing 80% of the time, because why? This is it. This is what it's all about. You have put yourself in position right now. The University of Michigan started off the way it started off, with a young football team. Put themselves in position when they beat Maryland to play for a possible conference championship and get into the college football playoffs with a young football team. Sam, tell me this. How many freshmen at one time are on the football field for the offense? About 4 or 5?
Yeah, with Bryce, Marsh, um,
Frazier, offensive lineman.
Frazier on the offensive line is a redshirt freshman. What you got, Guarnera? Um, so yeah, you got 4 or 5 on there.
Not you're not supposed to be sitting at the record you're sitting at right now. The people complain, well, this is Michigan team not coached well. Sam, you playing with that many freshmen starting on offense, Sam, you are not supposed to be where you are sitting right now. I'm just being honest with you. I've been there at Texas. We were doing that. We got our brains beat out. We did. So that staff is doing some good things to put themselves in position to be successful on Saturday with a young football team. And that's what people don't really understand that. And on defense now, when you lose them two big horses inside that we lost last year, you lost a whole lot. That's like losing 6 guys, Sam. So the transition from last year to this year is going to be used different. So a point I'm trying to make, the coaching staff is doing a good job. Sometimes it doesn't look that way because of the kids that you're playing with, but they're doing a good job of what they have. Now, my only point is I do not understand all the substitution because I don't know who your starters are. And it looks like they don't know who's starting either. The players don't know who's starting. And I got a problem with that.
This dude says, yeah, we are at a school. We should be able to reload. Ohio State and Bama do it yearly. We need to quit making excuses. You need to deal with the realities on the ground.
Hey, Alabama not reload. How many games they done lost this year?
You need to deal with the realities. Go back and look at the you need to look at the last couple classes of what that was. So that would be what the 23 and 24 classes. Go back and look at those classes. Deal with the reality on the ground, and look at where the roster is now. So they are fixing that at this point.
But Sam, what people don't understand, they think because you're at Michigan, certain things. I'm a Texas grad, okay? And right now, everybody's mad at Texas, how they got destroyed the other day, how they played. But when you lose so many gifted players going first and second, third round for 3 years in a row, sometimes mistakes are being made. Mistakes have been made in recruiting NIL. Guess what? I coached in the NFL for 6 years. Across the board for 32 teams, you know how many mistakes they make on first round picks, Sam? We have more time to do video, to work guys out, to bring them in, to test them, ask questions. If you have 32 picks in the first round, 16 are bust. You with me? Another 8 just going to be average. And that's in the National Football League. Now let's go to high school, make an evaluation, or you're trying to get a guy in the portal. So I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you the facts. It's just that simple. And if you don't have a quarterback or offensive line, you're going to struggle. Let's look at Jim Harbaugh. His 4th and 5th year, remember his contract changed, and people say we need to get rid of Harbaugh. And then you look at it, he get JJ. Look what happened, Sam.
Yeah.
That's the championship. People are unrealistic. Yeah. When I get a question like that, see, I can say what I want to say right now. I can be truthful, Sam. I don't have to be nice.
Well,
that's just a dumbass statement, Sam.
Oh, and it's not dealing with the reality. You look at the classes leading up to the championship. The Will Johnson's class and the Donovan Edwards class. I mean, those were loaded.
You hit it, yeah.
But the last couple were not. Those classes were like number 19 and number 20 in the country. Those weren't top classes. So, I mean, my man who said Bama and Ohio State, they weren't. That's not the same. You said they should reload like Bama and Ohio State. Those were they were getting top 5 classes in the country. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Those weren't the last couple classes of the Harbaugh era. They weren't. They were number 19 and number 20. Go check the tape.
But look at Bama this year and last year. They're not reloading, Sam. They reloading what? They're not going to play for nothing, Sam. So again, the one team that really is, you look over the last 5 years, the only team that truly has appeared to be reloaded has been Ohio State. I got to be honest. And people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. They wouldn't have got him a young quarterback that's playing not good, but great. And because they've had so many receivers have great success in the National Football League, if I'm a receiver, I'm going to 3 schools right now: Ohio State, LSU, and Alabama. If I'm a top receiver in the country, those are 3 schools I'm looking at right now. Why? I look at the NFL. The top receivers in the National Football League right now, Coach Sam, they've been to those 3 schools over the past probably 6 years.
Yeah. He's talking about he's talking about reloads with talent. Okay, but they weren't necessarily that doesn't always mean you're well coached. But the point is the same. Jason Williams, okay, they keep getting guys, and I'm telling you, go back and compare the classes. And Michigan's recruiting classes don't stack up to them. They don't. That is a fact. I mean, it's just.
But Sam, I bet at Michigan. I also recruit down in Atlanta. When it's time to recruit in the state of Georgia alone, they can go sign 30 guys in the state of Georgia alone and have a great football team. In the state of Michigan, 12. I'm just being honest with you.
Well, it's being fixed now because the last couple classes, now you back in the top 10. Now you fixing it.
Yeah.
Now you getting it back.
Everything takes time. Everything, but people are unrealistic at the Michigans and Texas and the Floridas of the world. They really are, Sam. I mean, like I say, it's Texas and Michigan, public school, both of them, good academics, a history of good football. Sometimes the fans are just unrealistic. And they talking about, I'm listening to Desmond Howard saying, don't be surprised if Sarkisian leave. Where is he going? He went to the NFL and he ran back to the college football as quick as he could. So be careful what you ask for. You better learn to be happy with what you have sometimes. Because what's coming in next, you don't know. When Lloyd Carr left, everybody, yeah, it's time for Lloyd to leave. They've been still searching until Harbaugh finally won a national championship. Think about that.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the class coming off the national championship. It was the class before that too. The class before that was ranked lower than the class coming off the national championship. So again, it was the last 2, and it was a couple of different factors. I mean, you had more serious dalliances with the NFL. You had NIL. Michigan's position on it wasn't necessarily the same as other schools. You got a couple of different things playing into it. But the point is that you got to deal. You got to apply some logic and reasoning to it. You can't just react emotionally. You got to apply some factual analysis to it. And Vance is right. That's why you got a really young team. That's why you playing so many freshmen. That's why you got so many young guys in the lineup, because you throwing like super young dudes in there.
Everybody, I keep saying these texts saying Bama's reloading. What did Bama do last year? Not a whole lot. What is Bama doing right now? Not a whole lot. So be careful about this team is reloading. And Georgia, what conference won the last 2 national championships? Sam? The Big Ten. Who's in position again to win it? The Big Ten. So it's not the SEC. People keep talking about the SEC and what they're doing. Be careful about what you're saying. The Big Ten is playing good football right now because the coaching is really good. And you got to get the players to do it, and you got to have a quarterback. You're playing with a young quarterback. In the first half, Sam, he looked like the real deal Holyfield. In the second half, when he threw an interception, boy, he looked like Peter Wheatstraw. Come on now. I mean, he went in the tank real fast. Yeah, and that's what young quarterbacks do.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they finally settle him down. So he take the last drive to drive the length of the field for Michigan to win a ball game. Looking like a veteran quarterback, like a guy who has a lot of ability. So the future is really bright. You got a young running back right now that's playing. He might not play this coming game because, like you hurt his shoulder. I don't know what his situation is, but he's a young guy. He's going to be a good player. You got a few young players on the offensive line. The future at the University of Michigan with that quarterback, with Marsh a wide receiver, looks really bright.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Vance, we're going to get to the grades. We got some. I don't know if they just trolls or if they legit Michigan fans that just are reacting emotionally to a tight game. I can't quite figure out. couple of these cats that are in the chat, but I'm gonna let it ride. I ain't gonna go in
they
the
think because it's Northwestern. They don't think Northwestern any good. If they were to the show last week, I said we need to score at least. We don't score at least 28 points, or it's close to the fourth quarter, so we could lose the ball game.
You did.
And guess what? They did enough that we had to have a 2-minute drive at the end to win the ball game. So be careful about saying this is this old Northwestern right now. Guess what, Sam? The Big Ten, every school in the Big Ten gets $20.5 million to give to their athletes. They get the same amount of money as Michigan on top of NIL. So now they can go pay players too, just like Michigan can. They can go get, if they can get them in school, they can get some players now. So be careful about where we're going in the future when we start talking about the Northwesterns of the world. But let's give grace to the D-line. Again, I'm having concerns about movement, Sam, and a couple of times we got knocked off the ball. I'm gonna give them a C. And I'm giving the linebackers a B for one reason. My boy number 15 was flying all over the football field. I don't know what the coaches gave him grade-wise, but the dude keeps showing up making plays is all I know. For the secondary, I'm giving him a C+. I'm giving Wink, and I never do, I give Wink a B+ for how he calls the game. Therefore, I'm giving the overall defense because of Wink's grade a B.
Yeah, and so what was it about Wink's approach in this game versus others that stood out to? Because a lot of times, I know there was one week where you were like, okay, he dialed it back way too much. Like he's not blitzing none in this game. Like you don't go that far. But most weeks you were like, hey man, you kind of being a little too aggressive here.
So I was shocked. I'm watching the game, Sam. I was shocked with all the pressure, especially the zero pressure. But he went into the ball game saying we have to stop the run. So everything he did was to take the run away. He felt that outside the corners could match up. And we saw in a couple of deep balls that they really couldn't match up. That's why they play so much zone, trying to protect the corners, rolling up different ways. But they, for the most part, they stopped the run. They had one run that came out of there. Again, we had a blitz on, and it came back because of a holding call. The problem wasn't the defensive end. The problem was Metcalf. He had the tight end man to man. Okay, he went and ran right up the defensive ends, but stay out of the way. Either kick the defensive wider and put an edge on it, or you play outside in. It's going to be a tackle for a loss. So it was more of a lineman issue by Metcalf than it was a defensive end. If you take away really one or two plays, we did a good job in the run because he was blitzing from every which way but loose. I mean, he took away gaps. They didn't have a chance to run duo. They ran a couple of counters, and we chased it down from the backside because the defensive front side, Sam, he hit that guard flush, constricted the play. We got a tackle for loss on a counter. And so they got away from the counter. So he did everything he could to take away the run game. And the pass game got us in the third quarter, a little bit in the fourth quarter. But the run game, for the most part, he went to the game plan to stop the run, and he did.
Okay.
And again, if we don't have think about it, Sam. We don't have those takeaways, turnovers in the first half. It could be 21-0 in the second quarter. Think about that. But instead, the game was close. And we didn't want it to be close. That means we could have some problems.
Yeah, that is right, Vance. If you have questions for Vance, put them in the chat right now. We'll start knocking them down. Gave the defense B. They stood up when they had to. You know, one of the things that stuck out to me, and I'll get to the questions. So you mentioned Vance. So after that first interception, because Bryce was rolling, right? He threw up 200 yards passing in like the first half. He was RPOing them to death. They didn't have as many points as you would like to show for it, but he was on point. They up 21-9. It feels like they got a chance to put their foot on the throat. And he throws his first interception, and you spot on. You could see it. He was different. Body language, totally different. He throws the second interception. He's not the same guy.
But Sam,
go ahead.
Sam, I'm being super critical today. Don't get me wrong. I hope nobody take this personal, but really I don't care if they do anyhow. Okay. After you lit them up in the first half with RPOs, you with me?
Uh-huh.
that safety quit coming down, Sam. You got a young quarterback. He has to read the safety. Offensive coordinator, take the RPO off of it and just give the football. Go back to running duo. Because your quarterback is not experienced enough to understand that guy not coming down. He's sitting. And he threw it right to the guy. And that's the guy he's supposed to read. And we could sit back and say, well, yeah, he's been playing 10 games. That's true. But the most difficult position to play and to read different coverages and schemes is a quarterback. And he's just not ready for it. I mean, he doesn't see the blitzes coming sometimes. They bring in nickel Sam off the edge. Sam, he don't see it. All you got to do is look out there. He can see it, but he doesn't see it. So that means that the offensive line and the offensive coordinator, they have to protect the quarterback on how they do things. And that interception where the safety picked that thing off, it was about time to get off the RPOs because the guy was not coming down. So play caller, protect your young quarterback, and you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, you can see him do that after that second interception.
After.
Right. Yeah, after that second interception. But what I was getting to was the defense. You can see the quarterback was not feeling it. They were like, we got y'all. And then you saw them before the offense go out. They going over to the offense. Hey, go out there and get it done. Like they picking them up. They picking up the offense, as if to say, y'all got this, man. We went out there and got it done for y'all. Now, hey, go bring it home kind of thing, which eventually, that's where your quarterback is eventually going to get, right? Shaking off a bad play, going out there and getting it done. But it was good to see the defense do that. Derek Moore, Rod Moore, all those guys, even though Rod wasn't playing. But see your older guys going up there on defense, saying we got y'all back. And then once they did get their back, encouraging them, going out there, telling them go out there and get it done. We know y'all can do it. That was cool to see.
It was. And I think those guys on defense realize how talented that quarterback is. I mean, it's saying the first half, I'm watching him he just threw. He's throwing darts, Sam. I mean, he's looking pretty, standing all 6'5", delivering perfect passes. I'm like, oh man, what are they doing off week? I mean, is Tom Brady coming in and talk to him or what's going on? And the boy looked great. And that interception kind of threw him off. His feet got answered, the whole thing changed. But the kid showed that ability in the first half. He could be so special. And you got two receivers that I think that's as good as anybody in the conference. I really do. You got tight ends, I think, that are good. We just got to find ways to utilize our tight ends more, Sam. Just had to go from that. But right now, Sam, we got some guys. We can move it, but we got to do a better job. We get in the red zone, Sam. We got to quit kicking field goals, Sam. Field goals get you beat. You just go start scoring touchdowns. And when we get in the red zone, Sam, we stay out of 23 personnel, Sam. Can we spread them out, Sam? Can we stay out of 20? Did Al talk about that? Get out of 23 personnel. We got an offensive line that's not knocking anybody off the ball. Spread them out. Sam, spread them out.
Can you say you don't want to see 23 personnel, man?
I don't want to see 23 personnel anymore. It's killing me. If you do, Sam, then shift them out and make people have to adjust to you. But you're trying to line up. We're getting killed, Sam. We're not gaining yards. We're losing yards. OC, come on, man. Hey, have a brain cell. Go have a drink or something. Do something. Help me out, man.
It was funny to hear the different perspectives.
What did Al say?
He said, look, they were doing some really, really good things for a half. They didn't finish.
In a half, yeah.
They didn't finish because he said the first series, they only had one RPO in the first series, and they went right down the field on straight dropbacks.
Yep.
And so he was like, man, this dude, they really worked on some things. The one RPO they had in the first series was the one that they took off the board, the touchdown they took off the board because they called holding on the run.
It was a bad call.
Yeah, it was a bad call. And then they start RPOing them off this look, and they had an RPO inside zone off of this look that they showed, and they was beating Northwestern with that. And so you showing them balance, you showing them new looks. said the thing that they didn't do a good job of, and this really didn't change in the game, was he didn't have good chemistry on his deep ball with McCulley because he had him down the sideline.
Yeah.
And he threw it high. Then he had him down the other sideline. He threw it short. So he had him on a couple plays. He said it didn't do a good job of executing a couple of times on those opportunities. And then there were some times in between where he said he had him on bad footwork a couple times. Just some things that you see that if they tweak, if they continue working, he'll be fine. But to your point, you get in the second half of the game, the mistakes added up. You had the fumble on the punt return. Then you had the interception where the protection is there.
The reverse. Why in the Merry Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Easter would you call a reverse and you knocking them off the ball? Why? Sam. I'm like, what in the Merry Christmas are you doing? And then he hit us with the nod route, went right down the field. I'm like, what is he doing? We are destroying these guys. Why you got to get cute? Why? I couldn't believe it, Sam. I had to go outside, run around my house 3 times and come back. I was so upset. Why would you call that a reverse? And you just pounding them going down the foot. You're going to end the game right there, Sam. Why you get cute?
Yeah. Hey, you tip your cap to Northwestern. They got him. They got him. Because he said on that play, he said they were in cover 4. What did he say? They 40 times in the game? They were in cover 4? And he said on that play, it was a bluff reverse. He said in that play they blitzed off the edge and blew the play up. He said they didn't cover 4 on that play. You gonna gash them.
Sam, you already gashed them while they in cover 4. Why do something different? You already in cover 4 and you gashed them. Why are you doing something different? Think about it, Sam. Now, tell Al that made no sense.
You asked me what you said, what he said.
Al, that made no sense what Al just said. Why? I am knocking him. I'm driving the football. I'm hitting him in the mouth and tell him you're going to like what I'm doing to you. You're going to like this. And now we're going to run in reverse. I'm going to put lipstick on your lips to make you look pretty and you get the ball back. What are we doing, Sam? What are we doing? I can't believe Al even made a comment like that. Al, we're knocking him off the ball. Why would you do something different? They ready to quit, Sam. They are ready to quit, and you're going to let them back in the game. Like, what are we doing? Wow. I had to run around my house. I'm just telling you. Started just running around there butt naked. See what the people say. I'm like, what are we doing?
Maggie said, okay, let's turn off the TV.
Oh, my goodness.
Judo time to go to bed.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. All right. If y'all got questions for Vance, time to get them in the chat. If you got questions for Vance, time to get them in the chat. And we can get the questions going. Get the questions going for Vance. Let's make it happen. All right. Here we go. All right. Nala said, hey, Vance, what you guys put in the water in Katy, Texas, man? You guys got some studs. Talk about my man.
Man, that's all those chemicals, man, those chemical plants down in Houston and that area. There's chemicals in there that no one knows about. They say it's healthy. They be lying to the people down there, but you're right about that. There's something in that water. There's a lot of swamp water out there where they live.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put you on Andrew Marsh's merch store. He got a line of merch that he's putting out. His everything's gonna be okay shirts and everything. Hey, he called his shot. He said everything's gonna be okay. I'm coming. I don't care who else come, because I'm coming. So he was right. All right, let's go to the next one. So Greg Guest 5248 says, I'm a little concerned, Vance, about number 7. So he's talking about Metcalf, and number 10 talking about Zeke Berry. Are those concerns warranted in your eyes?
Berry had been playing pretty good, except for this ball game, a couple of jump balls. Metcalf has had some good games. He's been a little inconsistent at times, but he shows some good athletic ability. And I like his physicality also. They are the best that we have. And again, that's why we play a lot of quarter, half, quarters, and three zone. We're doing that for one reason, to protect them. Someone had a question about why our linebackers, why our tight ends always open. When you play a lot of zone like we play, they're going to have a tendency in the middle of the field between the hashes, based on how you're teaching your backers and your safeties. They can catch a lot of balls on our defense. And we've been hurt by tight ends this year. We really have been. We got to find a way to come up with ways to take the tight ends out of it. One time we were man-to-man with number 3 on him, and he gets beat by a nod route. Then 18's in there win quarter, half, cover 6. They go for a vertical. He gets beat. He goes for the RPO, the run, the tight end goes right behind him. Twice the tight end beat us on for big plays.
Tim Richards coming through with the super sticker. Appreciate you, Tim. Appreciate you. I always appreciate the super contributors. Go right to the top. Let's go back to the questions. And so this one, does Zeke have one more year? He does. He does have one more year eligibility if he decides not to go pro. It'd be interesting, Vance, if you were Zeke, if you were advising Zeke, 2 questions. 1, would you come back? 2, if you came back, would you play corner? Would you continue to play corner? Or would you move back to safety if the opportunity presented itself?
First of all, I know people don't talk about education. If I have a chance to come back and not just get a degree, but work on my master's, have a chance to hopefully network and meet people how things are set up right now, still getting NIL money on top of that, I'm coming back. I'm going to stay at corner. Okay, now, if you're good enough at corner, they can always move you back inside. I mean, so when they come to test you based on, because you played inside before, you played nickel, you don't play safety, they know they can move you because you've shown the ability to play multiple positions. There have been guys who play corner in the NFL, in college, go to NFL, play safety. There are guys who play safety in college and go play corner because they run so fast at the combine. So no, I would come back. I would come back. I'll be working on my master's, getting in my NIL checks. Oh, I'm living good, Sam. Hopefully meeting some people that if the NFL doesn't work out, could set me up for a business down the line.
All right. Another super. He said, "Will somebody please cover 84? Somebody please cover 84."
And we're still looking for them.
Oh man, what's his name? Weising? I can't remember the dude's name. I know he was playing well.
Yeah, I jumped up several times.
All right, appreciate the super chat. Mission forward. All right, next one. See, do you agree with this, fans? This is a 2-parter, okay? 2-parter, because these 2 people are making the same point. Troy Radcliffe says, "Hey, what do you think about our conditioning? We just do not seem strong. Like, I feel like we get bullied. We got bullied by Northwestern a little bit. They were out there hitting. OG Marcus 71 says, Michigan's D-line look out of shape to be this late in the season. Did you feel like Michigan was getting bullied? Did you feel like the D-line looked out of shape?"
For the last couple of weeks, look at the grades I've given the D-line. B and C, back-to-back ball games. We move a lot. We don't play just a lot. I don't get out on a 3 technique or 1 technique and just play technique. We're moving a lot. And we don't move very well. We get in the wrong gap. So anytime you move and you have a chance to get knocked off the ball if you're not low and playing with good fundamentals. And that's happened to us more than what I want to talk about. Every single week I've been talking. I've been talking about that since game 2 or 3, about our guys inside, because we do move a lot. So again, going back to whatever they're teaching the D-line coach, how they are teaching that, they need to do a better job of getting that done, because right now it's not getting done. When I watch the ball game, it's lucky we playing some of the teams we played that we have a little bit more talent and we're winning ball games. But being out of shape, now we're not out of shape. I mean, we didn't say it the last 5 years, so there's no need to say it right now. We're not out of shape. We're just rotating a lot of guys. Guys don't get a feel for the game. I mean, we hadn't done that with the previous two coordinators. We sub guys in, but not as much as we're doing right now. So I don't know if they don't have confidence in the guys that play 45 snaps. I have no idea what the situation is, Sam, but we're not out of shape.
Somebody said, will Moore be back this season? I'll ask that question, but if he doesn't come back this week, he's not coming back. But I haven't asked that question. I will be very intentional this weekend in asking about it. But
if he comes back, though, what do you have to gain, Sam? Is he 100% healthy? I mean, he hadn't played in a year. He played in, 2 games and wasn't very good in that. So what are you gaining?
He was good in one of them. He made those.
He got an interception, I know. But at the end of the day, what are you gaining? I'm asking that question. He's missed a lot of football. And it's a reason why he's not playing. Is he hurt? Is he not 100%? If he's out to 80%, why put him out there?
Yeah.
And I'm wishing the young man the best, because I think he's done a tremendous job at Michigan. But where we are right now in the season, with 2 games left, what do you gain with him out there? And maybe we gain leadership. I don't know that. You can answer that better than me. But for us to go play him now, this late in the season, we got to be gaining something and put him out there.
Yeah, leadership, IQ.
Okay, well, if we're gaining that, then that's a plus. But I don't know that. You know it a lot better than I do. I need to be gaining something.
In that game, he made 3 plays that I don't know that any other safety on the team makes in that game.
You're probably right. You're probably right. So if that's the case, then you gain something. But who do you put him in for? I thought when he played in that game, I said, he is really helping out Hillman, because now the pressure's off of Hillman to make adjustments. I made that comment. I remember saying that.
You know what else, Vance? He only played like 17, 18 snaps in that game.
Mm-hmm.
He played like 40 snaps in the USC game. It was different.
It was too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Super Chatters go to the top. Cyclone EX says, good afternoon, Coach. Have you seen any effective adjustments made on the fly by our defensive staff throughout games this season?
For the most part, I think Wink has done a really good job. I think the defensive staff has. I mean, everybody making adjustments, in the halftime as far as how they're going to do things. I think Wink attacks you early and often, and then in the second half, he backs off of it, hoping to get you to throw in the coverage. So that's an adjustment that I like, because I used to pressure early, then I back off. Now because I got the offensive coordinator and the quarterback and offensive line thinking, here come pressure again, but I'm disguising. So they have made some adjustments. Our issue again is they don't have confidence in the secondary to play man-to-man. And I think one of the better adjustments we've made over the past 2 weeks, we have not zone blitzed as much. We're not very good at that. Guys been running free all over the place. We're better off living and playing man-to-man than trying to zone blitz, because we just turn guys loose. So to me, that's an adjustment that he's made.
Yeah, we talked about that. And we talked about that. What's going to be the way they tighten up, their zone defense? Play man.
That's exactly it. That's what they did. That's what they did.
Yeah, because, I mean, just even if they were a good spot drop team, you made this point. I mean, good spot drop teams just are going to have holes in their zone.
Good spot drop teams, they got good pass rush. That's why they're a good spot drop team. You're a spot drop team, you got bad pass rush, everybody's open. I mean, everybody's open. The quarterback don't have a field day. So you got to have guys up front that can make things happen for you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vance, that is a great, very astute point. Let's go back to the one exception. And Vance is very point. Look, and they would even admit they got thoroughly outcoached in the USC game. they got thoroughly outplayed in the USC game.
Yes, they did.
And so the reaction to that game has been, I think, in large part why they've had some success. The team has had accountability for that game.
You
Coaches
hadn't seen much, Sam. We hadn't seen much Bear until this game here. He got Bear in this game. He learned. They learned a bigger lesson because they weren't prepared for all the things they saw. USC had 2 weeks to get ready for Michigan, and they picked us apart. We flat got out coached. It was just that simple. We got out coached. And since then, he's made some adjustments to what they're doing versus certain personnel groupings that right now people can't take advantage of the mistakes we made in the USC game.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the important thing to note, and the reason why you acknowledge that is I think they play USC ain't that much better than Michigan.
No.
I don't think USC is better than Michigan. I think they play, if they were to play again, I think Michigan beat USC. I really do.
I agree.
So it's like, man, a lot of it is about timing. When you play, where you play. I think that makes a huge. Now, that's not to say that USC couldn't beat. Of course, USC could beat Michigan too, but it wouldn't be like that.
No,
I don't think it'd be like that. So,
I watched USC the other day, and somebody was running the ball against that defense. That nose guard was trying to quit. They knocking them 5 yards down the football field. We could have done the same thing, but the problem was we couldn't stop their offense. So it forced us to maybe try to throw the football to stay in the game, which we couldn't do at the time.
Yep. Vance, let's get this super chat in. From Nala. Appreciate the super chat. What should we work on versus Maryland, Vance, to prepare for Ohio State?
I'm not big on looking that far ahead, to be honest. I'm looking to win a game that I'm in right now. And if we get up, I might show something that to make Ohio State work on something, but we need to get better in executing who we are. I mean, whether we're a cloud technique, how are we defending high-low routes? Someone had a question about why are tight ends always open? Okay, how do we take the tight end away? Things that we've been weak at, we need against Maryland, we need to be that much better at than what we have been leading up to this ball game. So I can't be looking ahead to Ohio State. If you do that, you can lose to Maryland. So I'm focused on one thing right now. The players, I'm telling them focus on one thing. But at the same time, I've been working on Ohio State since the first game of the year. You don't work on them when you get ready to play them. I'm working on Ohio State since the first game of the year, but I'm focused on Maryland right now. Hopefully that answers your question. And I know Ohio State been working on Michigan since the first game of the year.
Of course they have.
Because Ryan Day probably tight right now. Man. He probably he's using X-Lax right now trying to get relaxed. He's so tight. Hey, Sam, he's using X-Lax. They don't even make that anymore. He probably went back and got it from his grandma. I know you would like that
one. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you know he tight. Oh, man, let's get right back to it. This one. It's just what you were talking about, Jason Williams, who's been been nervous all over the place. The quarterback ain't good. Nothing's good enough for Jason. He said, I'm a little nervous. Our D-line hasn't gotten to the QB enough. Our DB's having a hard time covering because of too much time. Vance, is there any hope for the defense? Give Jason something.
I think we got, how many wins we got right now? 8. I mean, they doing something a little right, I guess. But our defensive ends, they've done a great job. I mean, we hadn't had the pressure inside like we've had over the past 3 years. And at times they flashed, but our defensive ends have given us some pressure. But again, guys, we move a lot. We are bringing the wheel back and drop a defensive end. So you have your tackles instead of going vertical, that means going straight ahead, they're moving left to right. So because of that, a lot of times you're not going to get pressure off of those guys unless the offensive line just totally screws it up. That means the guys who are blitzing vertical, means straight ahead, that could be a linebacker, a nickel back, they might have a chance of getting a sack before our tackles do. When you're moving those guys from side to side, a lot of times they don't get pressure that way. And we do quite a bit of that, trying to find ways to give people a pressure look and play zone behind it.
So, Vance, I know you said one game at a time, and the focus is on Maryland. And so I want to apply this to Maryland. What coverage? Is there a coverage that you could be working on versus Maryland that would apply to?
Sam, it's already in. We run cover 6, quarter, half. We've been running that the whole year. We ran it last year. And against Ohio State, they ran the quarter, half. The half field was always to the big receiver side.
Absolutely.
It's already in, Sam. That's been in place since last year. So we have nothing to worry about. That's already been set up. And so for this particular ball game, what I would do is play the half field side to the field and the quarter side to the boundary. Be my changeup.
All right. Van Dam wants to know, Vance, how would you protect against tight ends running free down the middle of the field, but also helping the corners from the outside?
That is a coverage that we learned from an old pro guy when I was at Texas. It's called 6. We call it 6 orange. In other words, it's man-to-man. So we're man-to-man based on how you align the will linebacker. That's back to the boundary. He has a tight end man-to-man. But you got to stuff the front to eat up gaps for the run. So we used to run what we call a pirate. So in other words, 3 technique going to the A gap, the defensive end going to B gap. So the ball has to bounce where? Outside. So we were playing Baylor, a big RPO team. So they RPO back to the tight end side. The linebacker stayed with the tight end all the way. Defensive end comes off the edge, sacks the quarterback. So that's one thing you could put in to take it away or play man-to-man. But one time we were man-to-man. They ran a nod route and went down to the 7-yard line. I mean, so again, they could call it 6 blue or 6 gold, whatever you want to call it. So that backer has that tight end man-to-man, but you got to stuff the front. To eat up gaps for the run game, you got to make the ball bounce outside. How was quarterback was hard inside technique for run support.
How could the DB have done a better job on that?
You're talking about a nod route?
Yeah.
Collision of the tight end right now. The guy just did that. My man jumped like a jack in the box. He was out of there. He never gave himself a chance. You got to sit and collision that guy. When you got pressure coming that way, from that position, a safety position, you have to use a catch technique and catch that tight end on his outside shoulder. Now you destroy the route. And the post safety sitting in the post got a chance to help you out. But he stepped outside for the fake. Guy went right inside of him for a big play. Again, that's your honorable mention. Safety for Michigan State, who hadn't played a lot for me in the heat of the battle. Can't let that go, Sam.
He was Big Ten, all Big Ten honorable mention. He was.
He was what kind of mention?
All Big Ten.
And then now he was what?
All Big Ten.
But what's the other part you just left out?
Honorable mention.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody who played was that.
All right, let's go to the next one. Weeby Coach says, hey, Coach Vance, you must not have watched Dr. Pepper commercial where the fans were unhappy that the coach didn't win by enough. We didn't gash him by enough, Vance. Didn't gash him by enough.
Hey, that is true. A lot of people unhappy about it. You think Northwestern has won by 5 touchdowns. I get it. I totally understand that. You can never win that battle with the fans. True fans, they happen when you win.
All right, here's one, Vance. BCN 973. Coach, what did you think of the young freshman, Jordan Young, number 14, that big pass breakup on 3rd down?
He made a nice play, Sam. And in the heat of the battle, game in a tough situation, he made a nice play. Why isn't he playing more, Sam?
I think he's going to play more now.
Sam, we're going into game 11, so why is he not playing more, Sam? You're there. I'm here. I don't know everything that you know about what they're doing.
Nickel and safety. And you play Metcalf is your nickel, so he getting all the snaps at nickel. Once he got hurt a little bit in the last, what game? In the Purdue game, we started to see him a little bit more in that game. But, you had a bunch of guys in front of him at safety.
Why? They've been hurt for a long time, Sam.
So I don't think he's been in the rotation and say that's why I think he got that snap. I
You
think
got
Metcalf,
14, you got
I
3,
think
you got
Metcalf
all
was
kind
out.
of
I
you
think
got
Metcalf was out on that play. Now you might ask why was Metcalf out on that play late in the game?
you,
But I think
you
he
got
was out.
some. I don't know who the starters are, Sam. That's the issue I have. I have no idea who the starters are. And you got a young guy in the heat of the battle in the game. If he's that good to be there, then he should be starting, Sam.
Or unless they have one of they unless it was a linebacker out. And he was the
He
he was
dying.
6 DB. Yeah, and they was in dime. Could have been. I gotta go back and look. I gotta go back and look to see. So
Hey, I'm glad this DB coach don't listen to our show like the last one did, because he really be mad. I'd be really.
Lamar cut different than Clink. He
Oh
cut
my
different than
goodness.
Clink. Lamar more likely to call you and say, "Hey, so what you think, Vance?" Clink like, "Hey, fans don't like my DBs."
That was so fun. I like. Yeah, have him call me. I'll tell him what I like and don't like.
Yeah, Clink take it personal. He don't like my DB. What problem Vance got with my DBs?
Oh.
I said, calm down, Clink. He all right. he just calling it like he see it, Clink. Oh man. All right. I think that does it for the questions this week, Vance. And so give me your prediction for this game, Vance, going against Maryland, the team that early in the season, it looked like Maryland was going to be all right. Looked like they were a squad. And then we realized, I think it was Wisconsin's a fraud, and that made us realize Maryland was a fraud.
Sam, again, we need to be prepared for every trick play in the book, special teams wise, what they're going to do offensively. But this is the game that we need to win handily. We should be winning this game 35 to 17. It shouldn't be close. What our quarterback and offense showed in the first half, they showed something they hadn't shown the entire season. That quarterback looked like the guy that best quarterback coming out last year. Yeah, cool. If you take it, we don't turn the ball over, on our 10-yard line or 50-yard line. Our defense probably, I might be giving them a B plus instead of a C. I mean, so when you think about those things right now, I think we are starting to play as a team what we need to be now. Special teams wise, we need to look at some things. What are we doing and why? Who are we playing and why? And I feel bad for my man Morgan. I mean, he was trying like a son of a gun and just happened to get stripped. Somehow he stands up with the football, but the official gave it to Northwestern. I don't understand it at all, Sam.
Yeah.
The kid is trying his heart out, and my hat's off to him. But to be honest, he's not playing. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, it's just how it is right now because he is struggling mentally right now, being out there because of the media and what everybody's saying. He has a lot of pressure on him. That's just adding more things, more problems for that young man. Some people can deal with it, but right now he's not showing that he's that guy that can deal with that. Sam.
You saw that they made the switch, though. They put Marsh back there.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And so when you are in recruiting, NIL, high school, if I could find me a guy that returns punts and kickoffs, it's worth a scholarship these days, Sam. It really is. Because that guy can change field position for you. He can win a game for you right now. But it's got to be a real dude. I mean, a guy that's Samaj's size. He's what, 5'10"?
Yeah.
So he got to be special, Sam. I mean, he got to be special. He got to be like, man, I'm going to turn invisible on you when I catch this rock. And he's not that. And don't tell me, well, he run a 40 and 4.3. If he does, he had never shown that. He's like a 5'10" guy that runs 4.6.
Yeah, he's not a 4.3 guy.
So therefore, when I look at that guy, he shouldn't be a Michigan Wolverine. And I'm not trying to throw the kid under the bus. I'm just being honest in recruiting, being at Michigan. That guy, that size, on offense, he has to be a special kind of cat. And he isn't. He's just a solid football player at that size. And so when I hit recruiting, and I just look at I'm a DB coach. I'm 5'10" after 6 knee surgery, Sam. Used to be 5'11" 3/4 when I come out of high school. I'm 5'10". When I was recruiting and I walked in the room and the DB was shorter than me, Sam, I kept on walking. When I could look him in the eye, I kept on walking because I was like, no, you can't cover that 6'2" receiver. It's not going to happen. I said, now, they said, Coach, look at the video. Okay, he better be on offense, defense, and on special teams for me to recruit a guy. When I look him in the eye playing defensive back for me. And that was just my mindset. So I look at the same thing on offense. With a guy that size, he got to be a difference maker, and he isn't.
So there used to be, and I know this for a fact, back when you coached at Michigan, there were guys from the state of Michigan that Lloyd Carr would take that were program guys, that they didn't necessarily fit all of the physical measurables, but they were from the state.
Mm-hmm.
They had talent, but they weren't necessarily like, off the charts in all the athletic measurable traits that you're talking about. I think that Samaj is one of those guys.
Okay. But Sam, when I got to Michigan, we didn't take them in the secondary.
I hear you. I understand.
Lord say, Vance, if you don't want them, we don't want to take them. We ain't take them cats in the secondary.
I hear you. And so, but here, let me finish my point in saying this. He's a guy who brings you some intangible qualities that have elevated him to a leadership position that I think they value. And yet, that doesn't absolve him from accountability of performance. So it gets to a point where if there's not production, or worse than that, if there are mistakes that wind up hurting the team, then you got to give somebody else a shot. We said that about the drops, and so you've seen that resulted in the other guys got sat down completely out of the lineup. It started to reduce his playing time. Other guys finally started getting opportunities in the rotation as they started to learn, the different nuance of playing a receiver position. It ain't just, running routes. It's learning the motions and the shifts. As they did that, they got more playing time. Now you see it at the punt return position. Marsh he got the Z down. He's played some games there. He's got kickoff down. He's comfortable there. You can throw punt return on this plate now too, especially when it's not like punt return has been going great, and now you got a fumble in there to give another guy a shot. It's a bottom line business, man. And so another guy gets a shot there. That don't mean you throw Samaj out the door. He's still a leader, one of the leaders on the team. He's going through a tough time. You don't just throw him out when the dude is down. But another guy deserves opportunity out there. Give Andrew a shot. Let's see what he can do.
I don't want to throw it. I don't want to throw the kid out. It's good to know he's a leader. I don't know if you remember Eric Mays. Eric Mays was the captain for us. He was a walk-on who earned a scholarship and became captain of the 97 football team from the state of Michigan. So guys like that were in the program, but they came in sometimes as walk-ons who earned scholarships who became starters on our football team. And for Morgan to be a leader, my hat's off to him. Is there a spot for him? Yes. If you are backed up, okay, and they put a punt to you and we backed up, if he is my best guy catching punts, I'll put him on the 8-yard line and say, fair catch it. Instead of having a freshman back there. Why? Because he is my best guy at catching punts. So there's situational things that, to me, that he's suited for. Like I said, the fumble, the kid was trying to fight and struggle for extra yardage. I don't know how they got the football because he came up with it, okay? So I'm not trying to throw the guy out. I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying, going backwards, I don't recruit him at Michigan because of how I like to recruit and the kind of guys I like to recruit based on what I saw in this high school video. But he's here now. So what is his role? How can he help us win? That's the only thing that matters. And I think there's still a role for him in certain situations because putting a freshman kickoff return and punt return, it makes me nervous. I'm just betting he's a freshman. And that punt is 50 yards in the air coming down. But it's a lot of people cannot judge that ball. If Samaj Morgan is a guy can judge the ball, can fair catch the ball.
Yeah, look, and I'm biased. I love the kid.
Okay.
You know, yeah, that's my dude. I hate to see, and it's I feel impartial to all the guys. That's one of the dudes I've been knowing the longest. Like his personality and demeanor. And really, really, it's tough seeing him struggle. At the same time, you understand that, hey, just because he is who he is doesn't afford or allow him deference to just make mistakes without the accountability that others have too. When they make mistakes, they come out. When they drop balls, they come out. Right. And so he's been given chances and he's still given opportunities. Right. It's not like they've taken all of his chances away. He still plays, still gets an opportunity to compete and perform in practice. But there comes a point where, hey, now we got to give somebody else a shot. And I think that's the place that they got with punt returns, especially now that it looks like Marsh is ready to take on added responsibility.
I'm going to tell you, a guy that would have made a difference in my man Samaj's life right now is G. Harden. Greg Harden, man. You need a guy like him because G was, man, when guys would struggle, they go talk to G. Harden. Hey, he was real with them. And he made them look at themselves. What can you do? Forget what the coaches said. Let's go check your car first. Look at yourself first. That's what G would tell him. And you miss a guy right now. He needs a guy like that can relate to him and bring him back. Because right now, the kid seems like he's kind of in a hole, just an observation, watching him on television, what people are saying. Somebody need to help him out of that hole right now and bring him back. Because at the end of the day, you need a guy like him. He's on the football team. Like I said, he's the leader. You need a guy like that on your football team. We got to find a way for him to get positive about who he is as a Michigan football player. And whatever his role is, be the best at that role that he can possibly be. And that's the only thing that matters.
It looks like his teammates still got his back, which is the most important thing. So, Vance, did you give me a winner and a score? Did you get it? Did you actually?
30, we're going to make it 35-17.
35-17. Okay. Yeah, that's the key. So they've lost 6 straight. And a couple teams have most of the teams have put up at least 2 teams that Rutgers scored 35 on them.
Rutgers scored 35.
Yeah. Rutgers beat them 35-20. Nebraska beat them 34-31. That was a tight one. Indiana beat them 55-10. The other ones were tight. Wisconsin barely got by them.
They terrible.
And Wisconsin, I'm not Wisconsin. They beat Wisconsin. Washington barely got by them. Washington had to come back to beat them. I remember that game, 24-20. UCLA barely beat them, 20-17. And Illinois just beat them 24-6 last week. So
35-17. We roll. Our quarterback looking good. My biggest question, our running back. If he's out, that could change the game. That'll make it 28-17.
28-17?
Yeah.
Okay.
Running back's there, 35. If he's not, we get 28 points, enough to win.
Okay. We got you down, Vance. Folks, to the rest of you, be sure to tune in. We're going to have Dropping Dimes comes back this week. I was traveling last week down to Chicago, so that is back this week. I am efforting getting I meant to mention this. I'm efforting War Emanuel. We got to talk about this Big Ten equity thing. They trying to get equity partnership and trying to tell Michigan. Well, I'm not even opposed to the idea of an investment stake with parameters. I have to see what the deal says. But what I am opposed to is somebody telling me I gotta do it. Ain't nobody telling me what I gotta do in the Big Ten. Yeah, Illinois, Indiana, and Purdue, Michigan State ain't about to tell me what I gotta do. So I'm damn sure opposed to that. But yeah, I want to hear it from the 80s. So we got a request in. Gonna try to get them on sometime this week. So we'll keep you posted on that. But definitely gonna be getting it in on Dropping Dimes. We're gonna do the Basketball Insider with Tim McCormick this week as well. So a lot still to come. Be sure to catch up on the schedule over on the MichiganInsider.com. Until the next time, be sure to tune in on the next edition of the Michigan Football Breakdown, focused on the defense with Vance Bedford. We'll see you there.
Go Blue.